Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me the transformative power of faith, dua, and dhikr by the grace of Allah, and find out how turning to Allah can lead you to profound changes in your life. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. The woman in this story says, I'm a divorced mother of 4 children. The main reason for our divorce was because he was a drug addict. He was an addict who brought drugs into our home and neglected us completely. I endured this for a long time, hoping he would change. He would always start his treatment then go back to the drugs. Eventually, I decided to leave him and move on with my children into a small room on the roof. The court granted me a minimum amount of alimony, which wasn't enough to sustain us. Life was very difficult. One of my children was in poor health, another was still a baby, and our financial resources were very limited. The only possessions we had were those provided by my family and help from others. People were kind enough to help me out as much as they could, but it wasn't something I could depend on. It wasn't reliable. So I decided to start something that would help me financially. I bought 2 crates of vegetables and started selling them in front of my building where I lived. People from the building knew my circumstances and supported me by buying from me, and things were going well for me. I started doing this one thing, and maybe it's this simple act of kindness that was the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me financially from one state to a completely different state. A state that was so beautiful and so much better than I could have ever imagined. That act of kindness was charity. My intention for this business was that I would make enough money to cover our food expenses. At the end of the day, I would check to see my profit for the day, and I'd have some leftover vegetables. I would take some home for the family, and there would be 2 to 3 kilos remaining. Instead of leaving them for the next day and selling them at a cheaper rate, I would find someone like myself in need, a woman divorced with kids or a widow, and I would give them to them at the end of the day. When I did this, I didn't do it with any intentions except that I felt their pain and wanted to help them. I swear by Allah, so many people would come to me and tell me, these vegetables you are giving away for free, that's your sustenance, your rizq. Sell the vegetables the next day, even if it's cheaper. It's better than not getting anything. Personally, my heart went out to these women as I knew how they were feeling and how their children must be feeling. I'm sure their children want to eat certain foods, as did mine. Every time I'd give out the extra vegetables to those in need, the next day I'd realize an increase. More people would come to buy from me, and I'd also have more left over at the end of the day. Over time, my income began to improve significantly. I realized that the charity I was giving was contributing to the increase in my earnings. By helping others who were in similar situations, my financial situation started improving. I continued selling vegetables, always trying to provide the best for others, and noticed that things were getting better and better. I wanted to be sure the increase, if it was only a coincidence or indeed it was from the charity I was giving. So one day, at the end of the day, I checked everything and kept the leftovers for the next day to sell at a cheaper price. I sold them the next day and at a lower price. However, wallahi, my profit wasn't like the days before when I was giving to the needy. I didn't have extra at the end of the day either. And also, on that particular day, some of the vegetables went bad. I knew straight away that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was blessing me financially because of the charity I was giving. I thought to myself, I would never stop giving to those in need. What an incredible blessing it is to be able to help others and in turn be even more blessed ourselves in the process. After that, I would continuously help those in need. However, I wouldn't wait until the end of the day for the vegetables that didn't sell. Now, I would pick out the best of the vegetables at the start of the day to give out to those in need. The more I gave out, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me. I continued this for about 2 years and my finances transformed 180 degrees. After 2 years, my financial situation had improved dramatically. I was able to rent a larger apartment and expand my business. Although I continued to dream a better life, I was content with the changes and appreciated the growth in my income. Despite advice from others to remarry or send my children to live with their father, I remained committed to taking care of them myself. The days were going by. I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if our family was complete and I had a husband, a companion to share my life with, someone who could take care of us financially instead of me struggling to fill the role of man and woman and not being able to live my life. I felt exhausted after all these years and wished to be blessed with a husband. I prayed to find a good husband. Thought to myself, what man is going to want to marry a woman with 4 children? People around me would tell me, don't even think about getting married. If you want to get married, take your children to live with their father. That's the advice I would get from people. If you can't manage, send the children to live with their father. As if I'm their stepmother. I am their mother. How could I leave my children with their father and be able to look after them? And even if he could look after them, how would I survive far away from my children? This wasn't an option. I would see a family come in to buy from my store, and I'd pray for them from my heart, from all my heart, and I'd pray to Allah for Allah to bless me with the same. I made lots of dua day and night for a righteous husband. On one particular day, I had a conversation with the lady that I buy my vegetables from. She asked me, what if someone proposed to you? Would you agree? You can relax and stop working and stay at home. I said, who's going to propose to me? An old man who wants me to look after him and will expect me to leave my kids with their father? That's impossible. So she said, no, the man I'm talking about isn't old, he's young. What young man will want to marry a divorced woman with 4 children? This man is from a different country, and he was married before to a European woman, and things didn't work out between them. He has 2 boys from her, so he doesn't need any more children. His children are with their mother and they visit him occasionally. He looks good and is financially stable. So what do you think of the idea? Would you like me to talk to him? I requested she give me some time to think about it. I prayed Salat istighfar, prayer for guidance, many times, asking Allah if this was the right path for me. Afterwards, I felt at peace and decided to go ahead with it. We met and understood each other's situations. He prepared a better apartment for us and was very kind to my children, even more than their biological father. He and his family are very good, religious people. After many years, Allah compensated me and blessed me with a righteous husband. My life improved greatly, alhamdulillah. My dream became a reality. My prayers were answered. Whatever it is you are wishing for, and even if you think it is impossible or difficult because of the situation you are in or the circumstances, nothing is difficult for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make dua and expect the best. Allah will bless you, inshallah.